let's give it a try again. If you were on my last live there, apologies. It cut us off. Hopefully we have better luck this time. Happy Saturday, right enough. Right, let's just see. He's all come back in. I'm not going to touch anything right now. We'll see how I get on. I'm just going to let you all come in just now, and I'm just going to check this. Are we in? Right, can you see me all right? Can you hear me all right? Is this better? Hi guys. Right, okay, you're all joining. Seeing I've got one viewer, but I can see all the comments, so I think it's playing up a little bit. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to make sure I'm sharing the right one to our Facebook. Right, you can see and hear me. Brilliant. Don't know what I've done. I don't know if it was me or it just cut off altogether. Just bear with me. Thanks everybody for joining, by the way. I just want to put it onto my Facebook just in case anyone doesn't have it. I did try to put the link tree in. I will maybe try and do it just now. On this. Right, okay, let's share this. Why is it not letting me share? Right, okay. Right, bear with me. I'm not going to bother sharing that. I'll just keep it. You're all here anyway. That's the main thing. But what I will do is, if you do want to know where my Facebook page and everything is, I will pop it in the chat box right now. And we'll just get started because I don't want to be wasting time. Did you see it? It's there. The link tree. So anybody who's not on my Facebook, just check in the description in the comments of this video. Right, how are we all? Happy Saturday. We don't usually do this, do we? But as I said, I'm finishing up. So I don't actually finish up till Monday. But I do have mini Zooms and mini readings. Mini readings tomorrow are already booked in, but I'm releasing the mini Zoom dates after this live tonight. So if you want to book in the page, the live will take you straight back into all our socials. Now, crime cases. Obviously, we usually do this on YouTube, Facebook, sorry. But my thought was to keep it relevant. I should be really going live on YouTube for things like that, so it's all in the same place. So that is my plan going forward. Right, I'm glad you can all see me. How are we all? You're back. Anne Canada, how are you? Loving them. Thank you so much. So the difference over here to Facebook, just want to make sure this is working actually. Is the volume okay? The difference over here to Facebook is we can get away with seeing a lot more, can't you? So what my plan is, use the cards for some of the crime cases or some of the questions that you're asking. Now, I'm not going to use my other cards, they're here, but they are very in-depth cards and I don't think they would be good for something like this. It's more these types of cards I'd like to use around the crime cases. Just watching the Conrad Roy one as you came on. Oh, thank you, Caroline Kusnin. Volume's fine, right, brilliant. Okay, right, we're cooking the gas. Thank you everybody for joining. Remember and subscribe if you've not already, because my plan is to start doing these kind of crime case lives over here. That was my plan, was to share it to Facebook, but it is not allowing me to do it. Okay, it is what it is, isn't it? Oh well. Right, okay. I'm good. How are you guys? Right, what did you think of the Conrad Roy case? Let's get into it, but let's start with that. I think that was a very, very sad case. Only because the age of Conrad and Michelle, 16 when they started speaking, 16, 17. So it's very, very young, and I don't think they realised they were playing with fire. I felt very, very sorry for the parents. Hi, Jenny Erskine, how are you? Janice and Keith, how are you? Thanks, everybody, for joining. You are so lovely. I do have the spirit box here as well. So if we can get into a case and start blaring about a case, I will do the spirit box with it. Such a sad case, 2 life ruins, and their families, most definitely. Now, she obviously only got 11 months, so I didn't look into what she does now or where she's at, but it'd be interesting to find out and how her life's planned out since that. And was that 2014, so we're talking 9 years on. Have you seen the update in the Jean Benet case? No, I've not. What is the update? I've done that case as well. So if you look at our playlist, there's a playlist of day in the lives. There's loads of different playlists, but the main one is the crime cases. I'd love you to do the Amy Winehouse one. Would you like that one? I've got my wee pen and paper here. I'm going to write some cases down that you want me to look into when I'm off. If I take a wee notion. That's how it really goes with the crime cases. If I take a notion, I do it. Obviously, twice this week I've been like, right, okay. Elvis case, another case. Again, brings in a bit of controversy because back then it was socially acceptable for these things to happen. Doesn't mean it's right. But it's brought us all a big talking point. And I think we all kind of agree around the same thing as well. But it's different generations and different eras, isn't it? Have a look through the playlist. But the Moors murders. Right, okay, so the Fred and Rose West one's actually alive. So I did see your comment actually, Gemma. I think, did you put it on yesterday or the day before? So I went looking for it and was like, right, okay, I think that's alive. So my plan is the lives that are on Facebook, I will just redo them and bring them to YouTube and give out new predictions around them. I did have a little look at the Moors murders last night, another horrible case, a horrible, horrible, horrible case. Hi, Matt Russell. But again, I've got to cover these into. I've done the Bible John one. I want to do an update on that. A lot of you have asked for an update on the Mitchell case, or right now the predictions in the video are pretty much what's playing out. So that's why I haven't said too much on it yet. But I do plan on doing a follow-up video. But I think it's going to be more towards September, October time. But there's reason for that. So trust me. All right, trust me. On YouTube, brilliant. Is Milton 2 going to be back? Love that. Do you know, soon, maybe at some point, I've not seen James for ages, but we're doing it to catch up. I love doing the Milton 2. So if we get the time, life's busy. James and his missus are just trying to survive the summer holidays, I think, just now. A family someone has confessed a friend of his told the police at the time that he should have been looked into. Waiting 4 years to check him out. Oh, Eileen, that one's interesting because I'm sure, I can't remember, but I'm sure what I put out in that was to do with a family friend or someone else was connected, because I found it very strange in the Joan Benet case, the fact that the parents were right in the room after she was found and they were cuddling her, and obviously just evidence in DNA. Christy, I've got you on the TV, and my son Lewis said he remembers seeing you about 5 years ago when I had a reading at your house. Oh, hi Cheryl's son. Thanks for having me on the TV. Right, stop making me cringe. Little follow-up on Madeleine McCann would be great. So there was a little bit of a validation for the page around Madeleine McCann. I'm going to do the card around Madeleine McCann though, right? We had just done a live one night. We'd done a spirit box and certain things that came through, and it got us all speaking about Madeleine McCann. And I did predict like turtle green water, things like that. There was something else I predicted around about it. So the recent location where the police have been are pretty much what we had predicted. My vibe on that is, I know they've said, they worded it where they said they hadn't found any significance evidence, but they didn't rule out that she wasn't in there, the way they'd worded it. And I agree with that, but I feel like they're trying to find a fallback guy with this, but I don't feel that's the case. Will this be in catch up? Yeah, the video will be posted, AJ, as soon as, when I'm finished, it will post it onto the page. So there's onto the channel, sorry. There is a video that's 24 seconds, but our live failed us. So I'll delete that when I come off. The Long Island killer got arrested after all those years. Thanks everybody for joining. I popped the link tree in if you want to look for Facebook or Instagram. Or TikTok's there as well. Right, let's see. So I'm thinking Madeleine McCann. Let's start with that. Just going to move this out of the way a little bit. Spirit, what do we need to know about? I'll do the spirit box with this as well. Spirit, what do I need to know about Madeleine McCann? Same thing with that wee girl. I don't feel she ever knew what was happening. I don't feel she suffered, which again leads me to believe that she was in the hands of someone who didn't really want her to suffer. I feel like she passed away alone. That's quite significant actually, since she passed away alone, but yeah, I do feel that. I want to say a brother might have memories of this. Right, okay. Oh, interesting. Right, get more information. Peaceful resolution, the situation will improve. I put a post out last night and I'm coming on to it. The what if prediction post. It's not a prediction, but what if this was the case? And this is why I've done this live, because I'll not get away with this on Facebook. What I'm about to go on to. But somebody broke on it. All the McCanns are in with all the hierarchy. I don't believe that for a minute. I just believe that the police made the wrong turn at the beginning, the British police, where, oh, they're doctors, they've got good professions, and automatically gave them respect that they probably weren't due. And again, stereotypical. just presumed that they would automatically be good parents. What good parents leaves their kids in a hotel room on holiday? No, just no. Right, okay, that's what I did want to come on to. Now, my plan was tonight was to actually do a crime case on recent events. Philip Schofield, Hugh Edwards. Now, I did say in a live, and thank you to the follower who had actually commented, that I kept getting something like Jedwards or Jedward. So I thought it was Jedward, and somebody said the other day, Christy, could it have been that you were talking about Hugh Edwards? So this was about 3-4 weeks ago if you're on our live, and I'm starting to think, I think that was the case. I have always said it. I think someone from the hierarchy at the top or has been at the top between two different channels where they're just breaking everybody down. But I feel they're quite old. I don't feel they're young. Someone said about Dan Wootton, totally agree. I told you this in the predictions, he's going to disappear for a bit, but there's a reason for that, and I feel in the next 4 weeks we're going to find out, because I do feel a lot is coming down, crashing and burning between BBC and ITV. I remember you saying that about Jedward, didn't even think of that. Either did I until a follower had actually wrote it, and I thought, that could make sense. You're always in the ball, Chris. Do you think, Michelle? Going to be a lot more about Dan Wootton. He's an online cyberbully. Look at the Conrad Roy case. So, if Caroline Flack's mum came forward and says, I think Dan Wootton had something to do with Caroline's death, she spoke a lot about how much he was reporting on her, would that make him guilty? Legally, right now, it's a grey area, no. But it made Michelle Carter guilty. Doesn't make sense. Now, I know there's a wee bit of difference here. Michelle Carter was on the phone to Conrad, but that's the point I was trying to make in that case around online in general, trolling, bullying. So I think he's went quiet for a reason. I think Ofcom's in his arse. So something on TikTok today about Oprah Winfrey. Oh, she's one for the watching. Her and Ellen DeGeneres. Here we go. Again, so 5 years ago, I put out a prediction. I wish I'll need to go back. I need the time. I wish I had the time to go back and look for the live that I did, because there's so many predictions that came to fruition in the last year. Now, we did a case way back 4 or 5 years ago, the Moira Anderson case. Now, we didn't ask to do the case. It came through in the spirit box and it led us to the case. We eventually did the case, and by the conclusion of the case, I had put out, and again, it's just my opinion, so to anyone on YouTube, any Karens out there, that I was convinced there was a paedophile ring, and I am convinced, it's just my opinion, that it started in Coatbridge, in the Wifflet, Fred West was connected to it, and it then connects on to Jimmy Savile, Prince Philip, Bill Clinton, thinking Pizzagate here. So if you haven't seen my post on Facebook last night, the What If post, please go and check it out. As I said, I popped the link tree in. I'll do it again before we come on to the spirit box. The reason I'm saying it is we predicted that it was all going to come tumbling down. And that's exactly what's happening just now. But the question is, who's making it come tumbling down? The reality, we'll never know. There's no point in saying any sort of nonsense where we'll say, oh, we're going to find out. That's the link tree in now, guys, if you want to go and check out the predictions. But we will never know. But it's not done. It's not done by any means. I feel another validation. I did read something the other day, and another follower who sent us a message as well. Holly Willoughby did say that she might not come back after the summer holidays. I did already predict that and say can't see her coming back. Look, it's what rats do, isn't it? Slowly climb out the gutter. And I feel that's exactly what she's doing. She's worth the watching, her and her husband. And I feel like something big's going to come out around them in the next year. And I do see them heading for divorce in the next 17 months. When the Queen passed the lost protection, I know, what does that say about the Queen and her family? And that's in the What If post. It all starts from the top. You tell me right now, why did Jimmy Savile basically get a stated funeral? Why did he get knighted by the Queen? Do you know why? Because he was feeding Prince Philip, Prince Andrew, and every other hierarchy in there exactly what they wanted. I watched back in a few interviews with Jimmy Savile, and it's a case, I think I've touched on it briefly. He gives me the creeps, absolute creeps. I'm sure I'm not the only one that said that. But when you look back, he was pulling everybody's strings, and I feel Epstein took over from Jimmy Savile. Now, again, Epstein's just disappeared. He's dead, isn't he? He's committed suicide, apparently. Nothing to do with all the other 48 islands that are vacant that he might be on, alongside Tupac and everybody else. He gave them what they wanted. Jimmy was a creep, 100%. Look at Max Clifford, Rolf Harris, Gary Glitter, they all get outed at the same time. Who did they piss off and annoy? Trigger warning, sorry for language. And annoy at that time for that to happen? The same person that people are annoying right now. Gave me the book, but he was getting endorsed by the royals. The thing with Prince Andrew, don't get me started. I'll be here at 4 a.m. talking to you about this. The thing with Prince Andrew, the photograph, if you look back on that interview, he says, like basically the photo could have been photoshopped because he can't remember the photo being taken. Now, if the photo wasn't taken, you wouldn't have said that. But you're saying you can't remember it being taken, so you're leaving that room for, but there's a chance it was taken. Lies, lies, lies. These people have been trained by body experts, language experts, so that they're not making any sudden movements, so body language experts don't pick up that they're telling lies. It doesn't work, especially around Prince Andrew's case in particular. It sickens me, absolutely sickens me. But I do think Max Clifford played a massive part in something, possibly, to do with Jill Dando. Right, questions, what do you think? Lorraine Kelly knows what's going on. Right, I know, and you know, I've always liked Lorraine Kelly, but I'm not going to lie. The last year, I see right through that as well. I feel like she's another one with her nose up in the air saying, well, it's not affecting my doorstep, so it's nothing to do with me. You're wrong. Right, let's do a bit of the spirit box and see what comes through. Well, right, thanks for feeling the love. Do you see anything happening with Kanye West? That's another. He sacrificed his mum for the Illuminati. Don't get us started on that. Let's ask the spirit box. Right, spirit box. What does us group of over 100 people need to know tonight? Oh, it doesn't want to work. Comment what you hear, guys, if you can hear it. Simon Cowell sell his house. Why? Because X Factor's not going well. Am I breaking up, guys? Can you hear me okay? I'm going to check. Is it all still with it? You're fine. Right, that's fine. I see that anti-Canada closing it in here again. Right, what did you hear? Can you hear you fine? Let's see. Right, who's having, is it because I've moved this away? You're fine, thank you. It's because you're in Canada, Anne. It's not your fault. But we do the spirit box again. Let's see. Always like Simon Cowell, but read something recently about his friend Simon, who worked with him on X Factor, and it was tied to Dan Wooten. Can't remember, but it wasn't good. Oh, right, okay. Let's ask him. He's all want to know about Simon Cowell. That is fine. Let's do it. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Honestly, it's greatly, greatly appreciated. Do you remember and say, remember and subscribe within the next few weeks? I feel something. Who was that said that? Louise. Oh, I feel you're right. Abundance. The house. Maybe he is selling for a different reason. I don't feel he's selling the house for that. Emma Broke, I think you said that. I don't feel that he's selling the house for that reason, but Dan Newton's a connection with him towards November. Or they're all getting ratted out, I'm telling you. There's going to be a younger generation, but I don't feel, it's going to sound ridiculous, I don't feel TV is going to exist as such. So, since we've decided, right, if he's telling lies on the TV, just come over to YouTube where it's real. Right, let's go for it. I think he's protecting people. In the near future, unlikely, and be assertive, if that makes sense. He is going to get blamed for something, but he hasn't done it, and he's going to be quite assertive about it. It's Louis Walsh. Uh-oh, here we go. There is a clip of him kind of touching up Mel B and her kind of digging him for it. And I think that Simon Cowell knows a lot more than he's letting on, or it happened under his roof. Which makes me then think, is Amanda Holden involved in something as well? No, I don't feel she is. Right, what questions you had? You're awfully quiet. I wish Facebook was like this, by the way. Right, okay. Let me have a look at Louis Walsh. Always gave me the treats. I don't think he's connected to everything else that's going on. I think that's something else altogether. But you know what it's like, snowball effect. Somebody speaks out, then everybody speaks out. And I do feel that's coming in April next year for Louis Walsh. Could he be the person you said would have to leave something and we all assumed he's the same as the others, but he wasn't? We'll need to look back. Oh, you're right. I love Louise that you remember this. Please know, I have the memory of a sieve. I just had Louis Walsh in my head as you said it. This is juicy. Who needs TV? You are right, Emma. I think they're all going to start going down like a line of dominoes. I agree with you, and I also think that there's going to be a lot of females involved. Put it this way, here comes with the full booner on this. This is my theory. Prince Philip, let's start from there. Maggie Thatcher. Now, these are all in the post last night. Matt Clifford from Marketing and Publications, in a sense, isn't it? We blame everybody else. We blame the media for everything. We would never look at the TV and say the TV's line is, when in actual fact, Rolf Harris, Jimmy Savile, all these different people. Hugh Edwards, now, the average young, I can remember him being on the news. This is all in our memory boxes. Philip Schofield. It's all been played down with Philip Schofield, again due to mental health. Hugh Edwards, again due to mental health. When do we say enough's enough and say, even if you get mental health, you're not allowed to be a paedophile? Is that the access card to being a paedophile? If you get mental health, nobody can say anything? Nonsense. Okay, I didn't get a notification. You were live. How much have I missed? Oh, Lee Dawson, we have been live for half an hour, I think. Is it that long already? 22 minutes we've been live. Will there be anything else to the Royal? Most definite. I haven't said it yet in the lives on Facebook, so let's just kick that off over here. Affairs, infidelity is going to come out between Kate and Will. Harry's going to be got him in the corner about it, but things aren't going great for Prince Harry either, because I do feel by June next year, he's dealing with his own financial strains, and I do feel that he feels like he's been a bit mugged off with Megs. And I feel bad, because I do actually quite like you two as a couple. I think they are genuine, but again, all that pressure. Let's see. Helpful people. Watch out for the helpful people. That's your whole Maggie Thatcher and political side. If you believe, so again, we're going to be divided within society. That a lot of people believe that the royals, all these people that are outed just now, it's just someone has a narrative and conspiracy against them. Nonsense. Choose a new direction. Again, no more TV. We're all choosing a new direction, going a different way. There's something better. YouTube, there's something better, guys. And don't stop, all right? And what I mean by the don't stop card, what I do get is there'll be one person in particular that's going to keep claiming their innocence, but they're going to be the worst off out of everybody because of it, and I think it's Dan Wooten. They shouldn't be using the mental health card. They put it on themselves, 100%. But, you know, do you think Rupert Murdoch has something to do with this? Ah, well, aye. Yeah, I do. You honestly think that we were going to be able, I'm saying we, but he was going to be outed for the Hatton scandal, lose everything, stand down, and such a narcissistic man was just going to let that happen? Never. I feel Piers Morgan knows it's Rupert Murdoch. I feel he might be one of the only people that does know who it is. And I don't think he should be concerned, but I think he might get a little bit fly or a bit cocky where he might give us a hint in the next 5 weeks to who it is. They're all using mental health, but who's talking about the mental health of people we have done wrong to? Well, what about our mental health? Haven't you? Look, we've all lived in a fairyland for years. We all thought that Philip Schofield and Jimmy Savile, he was making kids' dreams come true. She's in hospital for a old woman having 2 sons caught up in paedophile crimes and tumours. sad. When we get an independence, Christie did the Royals from BBC and leave them all to it. I do see Scotland getting independence. I'm not as much on the political bandwagon these days because Sturge isn't the First Minister. And a lot of people believed it was just my political opinion, but it wasn't. I just really like Nicola Sturgeon. I like how she works. I think she's a good leader. So since she's left, I've left with her. But listen, I'm still going for independence as well. I'm very much pro-independence. Do you think Charles knows everything? Oh, it went on me's dad. 100%. Come on, Charles's mom was 14 when they got together. If you didn't know then, you'd never know. Yes, I do think that, again, how many people in families, there's things going on where it's put under the carpet, and even when you bring it up, like they'll still say, but it was right, and it's not that it was right, just get it under the carpet, it's because it was wrong. And it's the exact same with the Royals. You would never go and question the Queen, would you, and say, listen, do you know what he's been up to? Do you think that's right? Never. Mr. Blobby terrified me as much as Jimmy Savile as a kid. I've always kidded on, right? I'm not kidding on, but I am, but no evidence. He just disappeared. Who did he piss off? Who did he annoy? Or is he the big man that's fixing all this? Definitely not, but do you think Nicola Sturgeon has anything to do with the missing money? Definitely not. But I'm going to say that. But yeah, I don't see it. It's just a tactic with politics. And I think if you're really into your politics, you'll be able to see straight away it is tit for tat. I don't see there's any weight behind it, and I don't see anything coming of it. I feel by January you won't hear any more. But I think she's going to pass her driving test to start of February, so there you go. Where's Mr. Edmonds now? God knows. Maybe Mr. Blobby by the looks of it. Do you have any other questions, guys? Thanks so much for joining. You're all bloody lovely. Do you see any more coming to light around the Moira Anderson case? I would like to think so. Not anytime soon, but it's a case I'm going to put back onto YouTube again. There's a reason that I've not kind of touched the case just now. Just give it time. Trust me. But it will be coming to YouTube soon. But it is a case that I would love to be solved. It's probably the top case for me that I would like to see solved. Because I just think that case is it's been polluted, it's toxic. I think it needs to be stripped right back to the beginning. The Barry Wallace case. Who's Barry Wallace? What's Louis Walsh's involvement? I don't think Caroline, he's got involvement as such. I just think, and this is what you've got to remember, right? Think of it this way, and it's maybe not the best example, but you watch things online. I watched a video a few months back online, and the nurse was not being very good to a patient, an older man, and she was just being really rude to him and how she was speaking to him. But the nurse standing next to her was letting the nurse do that. Right? She just got on with it, and she wasn't rude to the man, but she was just letting him do it. I think with like Louis Walsh, it was acceptable because they were older, and it became nature. It was an environment in a sense. So I think that's what his involvement would be in it. But again, you fly with the cross, you get shot with the cross. You are the first 5 people you surround yourself by. Charles is trying to get Andrew out of the monarchy completely. Read something online that Andrew won't even leave his house to get his repaired as he's afraid Charles won't let him back in. I believe that. I feel Charles is more like the Queen, nature-wise. I don't feel he's that way inclined. I don't actually feel his other brother is either. I think it is just Andrew. And I don't think Prince Philip brought that in for Andrew. I think Epstein brought that in round the Virginia Roberts case. Was it Virginia Roberts? I hope I said that right. She didn't have reason to lie. This is the best way to look at it. He said that photo was never taken and she wasn't there. Now, they were very, very high-class people, all right? Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein, Prince Andrew. So why were there just a random 17-year-old girl in that house with him as well then? This is what I'm talking about. Big Andy, you're lying. Your pants are on fire and you should be scared to leave your house. It shouldn't be because of your brother. I was just going to say the crow saying low, but you said it first. 100%. Have you seen the video with him and Mel B? That's what I was speaking about. He keeps touching her up at the point she needs to tell him to stop. So that's what I'm talking about, environment. In his head, it's acceptable. I can imagine there is a lot of people who's either watching TV or been involved with these shows that probably a bit worried themselves because like I said, and the point of trying to make it those two nurses was the other nurse wasn't doing anything wrong, but she let that nurse do it, so it's obviously acceptable. It's obviously happened before. She didn't look shocked that the lady was being rude to the patient, and that's where Lorraine Kelly were talking about. It just comes acceptable because, and I get it, we all say stay in your own lane. I'm one of the strongest believers in it. Stay in your own lane, just leave it be. But and things like that, nah, different ballgame altogether. Did you see Colleen Rowland and Lucy Women talking about Jimmy Savile, touching her up on the top of the pot and asking her to go back to her room? She was terrified that she was only 15. So sad, but again, never spoke up about it until the man was dead. And I can understand, obviously, I don't have any experience of being a victim of that sort, so I don't know, I can't make comment as such, but what I do think is, you're speaking out now, but how many girls could she have saved if she spoke out then, or someone had spoke out then? But I did see the threats that he put out, even on TV, like nobody wants to die young. So he was basically letting everyone know that was even considering grassing them in, what the plan was. And again, around the Jill Dando thing, it really, really sticks with me that, like him saying people don't want to die young. And I do feel Jill Dando was ready to out the whole Untouchables. I feel she knew more than we still know to this day, or that we don't know yet. Any more information about Mitchell. It's a case I'm going to cover near the end of the year, but I see a lot of movement in the next 7 weeks where we're starting to see things swing in Luke's favour. So let's just, again, pray hard. Very, very strongly agree that I feel Luke is innocent, and I will stick by it, and I always have. I support Sandra Lane, the full Luke Mitchell case, their page and everything. I totally agree, and I do psychically get that boy is completely innocent. He was a 15-year-old boy. Trial by media. A trial by TV. We say it's media, but is it? Do you think Ryan Clark tried to speak out about Schofield and that's why he took a break from ITV? Nah. I feel Ryan Clark took a break from ITV. At first, I thought he was going through IVF with his partner. That's what I psychically got. But then obviously when he came back and things weren't good, I get obviously that his partner had left him. So I think it was more to do with that. I think he's quite a sensitive soul, wasn't he? It's a shame. I don't think Ryland Clark's got anything to do with it. I think, the Campbell doesn't have anything to do with it. But again, maybe environment. Jill Dando was such a shock. Killed without a motive. But yeah, I think there was a motive though. I really do. And again, it was easy to link her to Crime Watch and say what's to do with the programme. I don't think it was anything to do with the programme. I think it was more to do with what she knew and what she was. I don't think she was going to out it. I think she just had maybe vocalised that she knew, and maybe she was one of the first people to actually speak out and say that's not right. So you never know. Thanks everybody for watching. Guys, all having a good Saturday night. Okay, I think I've got other cases that we've done. Let me have a wee quick nosy. What about the George Murdoch case? What do you think of that one? Have you watched it? It is on a playlist as well. We've also done the Gabby Petito case. God, that was over a year ago that was done. The Reese Boner case, another case very close to my heart, one of the first cases that I've done. One of my favourite cases to do was the Shannon Watts case, the American murder, with Chris Watts. Very interesting case. I've done Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein, so if you've not seen that one, I'm just giving you loads of things to watch later, guys. What else do we have? Have you looked at the Alan Bank case for Graham Roth's? No, and the reason I haven't is the family's never approached me. I will not work in a case. Historical cases I'll work on, but I will not work in a case that I think might upset the family. They have never came forward to ask me to look into the case. I did do a show last night, and I had a lady come forward who is part of another case that we've not touched, but I've been asked to do the case about 4 times. 2 police officers have also asked me to do the case. So now the families came forward, I'm going back and forth with them. We'll see what happens with it, but possibly that'll be a case, and I think it's a case you will really enjoy. Someone has been convicted for it, but there's a lot of questions. Is that the right person? Does it fit with the motive? So it's very, very interesting. Right, crime cases. What else have we got? Amityville Horror. That was way back over a year ago as well. I've also done the abduction and murder of Millie Dowler, another case that I found very intriguing, only because I was pretty young when that happened, but I remember it being on the news, so I found it interesting watching the case. It brought back a lot of memories. Somebody asked earlier, do you see the Royals being a thing or the future? Or would be a thing in the past? That would be interesting to know. So I've put the predictions out for that, Brenda. Definitely a thing in the past. The monarchy's already, we said it already. Right, Stephanie, she was amazing last night. Thanks again. Oh, thank you. Stephanie was at my show last night. Any updates on Alexis Sharkey after her ex-husband killed himself? Nope, and I don't know if there's even been an inquest or anything yet. We'll need to look at that. I'll put that in my wee thing to look at. The wee boy you did, Christy, his sister took us with her. Oh, Susan, who are you talking about in that one? Have you been keeping up with the wee boy Noah from Belfast case? I know one had to contact you, but what's in the media now? Again, family's not contacting me, but it's a case that I have looked into. Find it very, very interesting. It reminds me very much. I'm not even going to say it just now. It's a bit like the Reese Boner case, isn't it? Do you have more predictions? Yes, I do. I'm coming on to them in a second. Don't worry, I'll just answer all your questions. Jean-Denis Ramsey. Well, I do. One of the ladies has commented in here to say that there's been an update with the Jean-Denis case, but that's a case I don't think is ever going to be solved, because I think, again, it's a cover-up, and you'll usually find the cases that aren't solved are the cover-up cases. Bible John, cover-up, massive cover-up. Very like it. So sad. Hopefully both mums get answers and justice for the boys. A case I really do want to touch on now. I did it on a live a few years ago. I went out to location with it, but my plan is to do it again. The Andrew Sinclair case. The wee boy that went out the gate and his big sister. Oh, right, okay. Oh gosh. Donna Davidson is his sister. Oh my goodness, what is that little boy's name? Sandy Davidson. Yes. Again, no updates as such. Got a lot of feels around that case as well. I think the family have, but sometimes you do think there's more cover-ups. But then this is the way to look at it. People power. This is a year of people power. Everything's starting to kind of crumble away around hierarchy. It's going to affect all things like this as well. That's like Christy. Did you do Bible John? What was the cover-up? Bible John is on our channel. Do you know what? I'm still investigating the Bible John case to this day. And do you know what? I've actually spoke recently with someone else who's dealt with the case purposely for the reason of just, it doesn't sit with me. Like, people are saying they think it was a police officer and it was a cover-up, and I just don't think that's the case. But yet again, a little bit like the Lloyd Anderson case, that means the case is tainted with speculation and conspiracy. The sister that was in the back of the taxi with Bible John alongside the victim, they said her story changed about 3 times as well. A lot of people wouldn't have spoke up that they were at the barras because they were maybe married, or most likely they were married, but it was all affairs and dirty goings on a Thursday night in the barras, put it that way. So when all this came out, nobody wanted to speak up to say that they'd been there, because it meant they would get caught, and I think that's what hindered that case. But I do get the man wasn't local. It was local, but not as local as such, where I feel where he murdered these people was close by. You wouldn't need to know the barras to go to these places. So it's as if he just found somewhere. It wasn't planned. They said that he obviously, all these victims had their periods and they'd found sanitary towels and things like that. So they were like, it's nuts when you read the case. They're like, he was the only man that could tell that a girl was taking a period. No. Maybe they just said no and the rest said yes. Or he wouldn't do it because of that reason and he got angry, and that's what I think. There's another girl who went missing from Irvine the same year as Sandy vanished. I think her name was Patricia, and she's never been found either. Peter Tobin case, as a case I did cover live, but we will put it on YouTube, definitely. What about the mum and son who disappeared and have never been found? What's their names? What was the other one I was going to come to them? Yeah, I think in the Andrew Sinclair, or is it, what's his? name Sinclair. Oh my goodness, I just said it. Andrew Sinclair. Really interested in that case. He was the man who murdered the family in Uddingston over Christmas, even at their Christmas dinner. It is nuts. I love this. Emma Brockett, right off topic, but will Mick Carter, will he ever come back to EastEnders? Do you know, I watched on TikTok that whole scene, and at the end, Danny Dyer came on, and he was in Holidays Life at the time. I was like, I'm so getting into this. Yes, I do think he'll come back in the next 2 years. He'll need to pay for all the grandkids. He's got twin granddaughters now as well, hasn't he? Aye, Andrew Sinclair. So that's another case. Any other cases? Pop in the comments just now. Any other cases you would like me to have a look at? I've enjoyed doing this. Thank you so much for coming live with me over here. I love my wee channel over here. We've just hit 5,000 subscribers today, so thank you so much. I love doing my videos. It takes me a little while to edit them, so which is good. We're doing lives like this. I can have a proper chat with you. But when we're doing the cases, oh my goodness, it can take. Oh, have we froze? Oh no, don't say we have. Oh, we're back now. I don't know if I have froze there. This is the only thing. Facebook, I seem to know how to work better. Right, there we go now. I feel bad, right, because I know you're all sitting back relaxing. I'm like, somebody going to write in the comments, let me know we're all still here. I'm so sorry. Get back to your popcorn, your crisps and juice, right? I'm sorry. Do we have any questions before we finish? I was actually heartbroken at Christmas. I broke it. I know, it was a dramatic storyline, wasn't it? I don't really watch it, but I'm a bit of a glory hunter in that sense. When something big's happening, I've got to tune in then. You know what it's like. So yes, I'm going to do mini Zooms tomorrow. So that's like your 3 cards, 15 minutes in Zoom to myself, about 15 minutes. You go into a wee waiting room, I just take one by one, but I will release those dates when I come off this live. Usually I would just do a free-for-all, but what I'm going to do is book these in the night before and then just stick them all in the waiting room, and it's just one by one at that point. It's a great wee channel here. As there's no too many, you can get a wee better chance of you being able to answer questions. 100%, Lorraine, thank you so much. We're here, thank you for a great few nights. Could you look at the disappearance of Andrew Gosden? Andrew Gosden. Who is that and where does he come from, or what's the story, Elizabeth? Pop a wee bit of comment in. I'll have a look and come off those as well. I'm going to give you all a wee daily card in a minute as well, just to finish off. Have you done Diana's case? I sure have. That is in the crime playlist as well, Lisa Kennedy. Another case I enjoyed doing. Another case I feel very strongly about. Prince Philip said off with her head. I'm going to get shot. Sorry, the royals are watching. Wee question, does he end to get away at court? Oh, I'm not doing reading. Sorry, Janice. I'm going to do a wee daily card, but here, we'll give you a quick card and I hope it resonates. Wait, it's saying, have patience. The first time I've ever watched a YouTube live, only realised you could do it the other day when it came up and told me you had been live. I need to get with the times. It's all right, we're on the same boat, Brenda. Templeton Woods murder. Right, okay. Ah, right, okay. I think I've looked into that already. Thanks, Amy. That's fine. I'll have a look. My plan is though, right, okay, here we go. 2 presenters, 1 music musician and a comedian are all going to be outed for the same thing that Hugh Edwards has been. Oh, just like that. So let me know when you see the validations coming in. We seem to be getting a lot of validations directly from the Daily Mail. So keep a wee eye out. You can message us on Facebook, Instagram, you can put it on our page. But that is my prediction for the next 2.5 to 3 weeks. Laurel or Laura is something as well, but I don't feel it's a name. I feel like, I don't know, keep it. We'll see. Oh, is that the dog? That could be MI5 coming in for me, by the way. Landon, Polly, Evans, another tour. Oh, I don't feel so, Stephanie, I'm sorry. But not for that reason, I don't think it's Lee Evans. Oh gosh, who is it now? I'm even thinking, loving this Christy, great wee channel. You can get away with saying all sorts over here. What comedian would it be? Right, okay. An older generation one, I feel. Please tell me it's no Robbie Williams and I'm going to see him next month. No, it's not Robbie Williams. I feel like when we find out the singer-wise, we'll be like, we knew. Like, it's going to be one of the ones that it fits the bill a little bit. Chubby Brown. Has he not been outed already? No. Oh, he's definitely been outed. Oh, God. What we like though, do you know what? These comments are a prime example of what we've been speaking about on, like, Philip Schofield, Hugh Edwards. We, like the lady said there, oh, please don't let it be Robbie Williams. And I totally get it, but that's where we tend to try and not believe that that person could do that. And that's how people get away with stuff like that as well. So, not that I'm saying go to Robbie Williams' concert and shout abusive things. Just be on your guard with everybody. Nah, I don't feel Russell Brand. He's too much heavy lift. Definitely not. That's how it's spoken. It's true what they say. It's a quiet one you need to watch. So I don't feel it's anything like Russell Brand. I do feel though he's going to come into the limelight towards November, December. I feel he is going to be back in TV, or he's maybe speaking out a lot around things. I don't feel he's outing anybody, but I feel like he's speaking about his relief over something that it has been outed. What you like putting all your guests in? Come on, don't do that to people. We'll just listen. This is how we roll. We wait and we see how it plays out. Ali G? No, I don't think so. No. An older generation comedian. And it's not Billy Connolly or anybody like that. Does my head in when people say, no, definitely not. She wouldn't do that. They don't know them. They only know the personality, but put on people to see 1%. Chrissy had got any predictions in the Nicola Bully case. Right, so we did, not Michael McIntyre, we did speak about the Nicola Bully case. Oh, it was on the show last night. Apologies, we've not spoken about it on here. I called this from day one, the day that all this started coming out about Nicola Bully. I said it was menopause before it came onto the news, that it was menopause and everything else. So that was one of our predictions because such a big thing had been made about menopause and we'd spoke about it. But I truly, truly believe this was a lady who was menopausal and she did take her own life. I've always stuck by it. I get the conspiracy theories behind it, but I just don't see it. And the fact that everything we predicted at the start from day 2 that she went missing, in the end did come to fruition. And on that day I made the predictions, I was very clear that I felt that she took her own life or that she went head first in. Menopause, my experience with doing readings, menopause can send you barney. There's no logic, and especially if you're maybe drinking a little bit more just to kind of suffer the side effects of it rather than maybe taking HRT. And when you're at a fun age the way Nicola Bully was, it's an age where do you take HRT or do you ride the wave? And maybe that's what she was doing. That's what I get. I just feel very sad for a family because I don't think they'll ever be able to go over. It's not the fact of losing Nicola Bully, it's the fact of the media frenzy around that, where the media truly was to blame. Someone was charged for trespassing and giving out information or videoing her body being brought out the river. It's just dog eat dog world. It's horrible. Boy George. Oh. We'll see. Right, thank you, Evie, for joining. I'm going to head off in a wee second. Do you want to please? Fawlty Towers. I love Fawlty Towers. So sad that she didn't get help. And this is what I disagree with. When everyone was going crazy about why did the media bring up the menopause? What, are we not allowed to speak about it if we all just to shut up and keep suffering the way Nicola Bully did? Or is it someone and a victim like Nicola Bully that we should be leading by example and saying we need to speak out about it, we need to speak more about it for that reason? The world is good. We think the wrong way a lot of the time, and we think that if you've got an opinion or it's your opinion, the people that don't follow your opinion are not your vibe. That's not true. It's healthy to have a debate. It's healthy to feel differently about things. But I just think media frenzy for that poor lady's family. I think that there's maybe more to come in the Nicola Bully case, but not what you are expecting. It could be the aftermath of what the media and TikTok, social media has done to that family. That he said all the existed. Not sure what I've missed. Right, I'm ready to come off in a wee minute. I just want to thank you all for joining. totally suicidal in 2022 down to the menopause. And you know what, Lorraine? Good for you, and God love you speaking up in this live, but well done, because you don't know who you're helping right now, and we don't need to know. But the thing is, if we're speaking about it, it could reach someone who's saying, right, okay, I'm only down today. That could change tomorrow. It's the menopause. But maybe someone could come into this live and think, I've been down all day. I don't really want to be here. The minute you mention the menopause, they might think, wait a minute, is that what's making me feel like that? That'll make somebody feel better straight away. It's a bit like Jade Goody going through her battle with cancer. She helped so many lives at the time. 100%. Experience is key. You can learn anything out of a book. You can read through bits of paper in the daily, but if you've not got the life experience to back that up, you're never going to be able to inspire or help people. It's got to always come from here. Right, guys, I can't thank you all enough for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this for a wee Saturday night. It's random. It's not often we do it. I might do it more often. Menopause brain totally forgot you were doing this live. There we go. Gail Jane's in. She's forgot we've done the live because it. Don't worry, I'm going to post it though, Gail, so you don't watch it back. I've been doing it from the age of 23. The cancer and didn't get the HRT. I still got hot flushes. It's horrible. Sending me so much love, Susan. You love about the menopause was great to discuss, happening younger these days. 1,000,000% it is. And the thing is, please know if you're out there regarding menopause and your nurse, your doctor says, oh, you're still too young, don't listen to them. I've seen the mentality of it myself where they're like, no, you're like, I had it recently about 4 weeks ago. No, you're a bit young, and I'm telling you, I've been for IVF and I did a perimenopausal test and it came back positive. And she was like, And I'm like, why would I want to seek that out if it's not true? But the good thing I got out of it was, right, now I know what's going on. I know that, and like, obviously I'm lucky I've got my boys and I could have wanted more children if I wanted to, but definitely not. Now I know what's going on in my body. I'm like, I feel a bit better. At least I know why I feel like this. So don't listen necessarily to if a doctor saying you're too young for it. There's a urine test on Amazon, £2.49. It is. Take it, and it'll give you your answer. And sometimes when you get a wee bit of clear mind and peace of mind, there it helps. Didn't know you could get a test yet on Amazon. I tell all my women in readings to do it because what I'm going to tell you, I think, again, my test, they're not convinced that doctors are perimenopausal, but they test come back positive. I think we all are perimenopausal a lot younger than we're expecting. We blame it on maybe our cycles, our PMT, but if we knew, it might actually help our mental health better. Because as soon as you start hitting those stages, it does affect your mental health. Only you know your body. Thanks, Christy. Great wee chat. I love it. Thanks, Christy. Really enjoyed this. Happy holidays to you and your precious boys. I know I am finishing up. I just want to get as much work done between now and Monday. You know what I'm like. If you've run the page 7 years, you'll know. So my plan is, if you want a mini Zoom or a wee reading tomorrow, PM the page. You can do it from now. The link trees, I'll put the link tree up once more. The admin team will get you booked in. And you just go in the waiting room tomorrow, and I just come to first come, first serve kind of thing. Just a second, I'll put the link tree in for you before I leave. So you can find Facebook for us or Instagram. Remember, and give us a wee follow. No, it's not letting me do it. Hold on. If you know you know I'm a technical. There we go. Link trees in now, guys. I took the same test. That's how I found out, and you can get a wee one that is a wee test strip, like blood sugar test on these full blood. Thank you. Any other predictions? Right, okay, I'll do a quick rundown. Right, okay, big news when it comes to, I wasn't going to mention this. Something's coming in October, guys. I don't know what it is, but I'm noticing a lot in my readings again, like when we had lockdown and COVID, October and November and December is becoming very strong. I'm not sure what it is. I feel we'll know by the first week in September around something. Well, I think there's going to be a change for politics towards January, February time. I don't know why that would be. It could be talking around independence, to keep that as well. I don't feel the cost of living is going to get better. I feel like between now and April next year, we don't see anything going down. But after April next year, we're going to see changes. I do see a lot of changes in the mortgage rate. Am I breaking up again? Oh, that's Spirit saying don't do these predictions. I feel there'll be a lot of changes in the mortgage rates. Right, guys, I'm breaking up, so I'm going to go now. That is a sign. Thank you all for watching. I will be live again soon. I know it's broke up, so that's a sign. It's a sign, and I'm taking that sign, Spirit. Thank you. Keep me out of trouble. Stay safe, take care. Check our link tree for all our socials, but also if you want to book a reading, it is on Facebook and Instagram. I'm doing my readings tomorrow, which will be Sunday, just in case you're watching this back. Other than that, stay safe, take care, remember and subscribe.